Hello One and All is my view of My Hero Academia, Chapter 317, Scars, Blood, Filth. And that is a very depressing title for a very, very depressing chapter, but I think the thing that bummed me out the most was seeing Death Arms retire. I mean, don't get me wrong, he was by no stretch of the imagination my favorite character in the series. In fact, I actually had to look up his name just to make this video, but he's been here since the very beginning. He was here in Chapter 1. He was here during the sports festival. He was here when they arrested the Liberation Army people. And now he's just gone, and just seeing him slowly strip off his hero outfit and walk off in the sunset was honestly sadder than if he had just been killed, because now we were forced to watch his spirit be broken by all the negativity and hatred being directed at him and all heroes, and his last line really does encapsulate what's wrong with hero society right now. But nah, I'm no hero, only human. Heroes are only human, but the government, the Safety Commission, they have been propagating this myth time and time again that heroes are these huge, amazing, infallible, godlike beings, and they did this to keep society safe. Society couldn't continue to function if everyone thought that heroes were just, average people like them. If so, then, why can't I use my quirk to go in and save the day? Why can't I use my quirk to go and help people? And that would just lead to utter and complete anarchy and chaos, because while heroes aren't perfect, they're better than the average person. I mean, not because they're heroes, because, they have the will to go in and save people, and they have the training, very, very important training, to know how to fight villains without the situation escalating into utter and complete anarchy and chaos. And one of the biggest causes for this myth blowing up to the point it has, is All Might. I mean, even when he was in his prime, he was not the hero he pretended to be. I mean, we saw that in a recent chapter of Vigilantes. After 3 days of fighting villains nonstop, he came back to the All Might Tower, and as soon as the reporters left, as soon as the doors closed, he deflated, not to his current skinny bone-like structure, but he still deflated because he was never as big, as tough, as intimidating as he appeared to be. That was just a myth he kept on for the sake of ensuring people that it's all going to be okay, that they didn't have to worry because he was here, and that just made everything so much worse. I mean, Endeavor saw this huge, unreachable gap between him and All Might, so he decided to forcibly breed a child that could overcome him, that could become the next symbol piece. That's why he created Toya. That's why he pushed him to become a hero, and as a result of it, he became Dabi, and he's killed so very, very many people. Plus, he had the whole propaganda video that just made everything 1,000 times worse. Also, speaking of Endeavor, this chapter, he's ignoring calls and texts from Shoto, which, that's going to go badly. That's going to go so badly, especially because, he promised Shoto that they'd stop Dabi together, and, now he's kind of sort of not doing that. And even Stain's killings could kind of be blamed on All Might. I mean, he was killing, heroes because he wanted to end the corruption in hero society. He wanted all heroes basically to become like All Might, to be true heroes. But even All Might wasn't as much like All Might as Stain thought he was. So if the myth of All Might hadn't existed, would Stain still have killed those people? I'm not so sure about that. Also, Stain appeared in this chapter, apparently spying on All Might, which is worrying. I mean, is he here because he wants to protect All Might, because he still believes in the myth of All Might, because he still believes in the man, he wants to, be there for him to keep him safe from any villains that come after him? Or is he here to kill him because, he's angry at All Might for all the lying and deception and basically just creating this myth about the symbol of peace? I'm actually not sure, but definitely leaning more towards, him being on the good guy side, him being here to essentially, protect All Might, eventually become the first member of Suicide Squad, a team of former villains turned heroes to stop the much, much bigger threat. And while we're blaming All Might, let's not forget the fact that he had 2 separate chances to kill All for One. He could have done it the first time, he failed, he thought he killed him. Second time, he let him live. Such a bad idea, such an overwhelmingly bad idea. I mean, yes, things would still be bad if they'd killed All for One, because, the All for One quirk was still already in the lab and they could have been implanted in Shigaraki, but still, things would be much, much better if All for One's physical body wasn't, still out and about moving around. But this chapter really is just the perfect karma for All Might. I mean, he sees Deku, the kid who he gave the power to, suffering so much because of the power he gave to him, because of the burden he put on his shoulders. And then as he sees him run away, as he sees him refuse to eat, refuse to stop, refuse to rest, and just keep going time and time again, he's reminded that, he did the exact same thing to Night Eye. Time and time again, he pushed himself, even as Night Eye just begged him and pleaded with him to rest, to take it easy, not to go so far. And maybe if he had, he would have been strong enough to actually win the fight against All for One without getting himself injured. He could have, finished him off and still continue to be the symbol of peace to this day. Just saying. That's definitely a possibility. Deku, meanwhile, is just really, really worried about All Might because he knows that All for One has finished having his fun with the old man, and now he's free to throw him away whenever he wants. He will kill All Might without a second thought, just for the sake of, just torturing Deku more, making him suffer more. So Deku is going off his own. He can't afford to let anyone else get hurt again, even though they all somehow managed to survive that massive explosion in the mansion by the skin of their teeth without any other explanation given. The rest of them seem, perfectly and completely fine, so yay, somehow. I'm actually rather curious about that. But now Deku's gotten super serious as we see him take down this Yakuza-looking thug all by himself before backup could even be called. Yeah, he's not taking it easy like he did with Lady and Gone. This person he put down hard. And then the rumors begin to spread. They say he appears without a sound. He's got a whole mess of quirks in him. That sounds like All for One's ability, right? Or like a Nomu even. But apparently he goes around helping people. The rumors say he's caked with blood and filth, which cover up his many scars. You're looking at him, you never guess he was a hero. As we see Deku just going full and complete monster beast mode right here. Seriously, this actually reminded me of, if anyone here watches One Punch Man, they know Garo, the human monster. With each fight he gets into, he becomes more and more monstrous. He becomes less and less human, and that's very much what Deku looks like here. I mean, all his clothes are completely and utterly shredded, just giving him just completely inhuman appearance to him. The black whips that are just constantly surrounding him now look like thorns, tentacles that he's going to use to just stab anyone who comes near him. And, you know, he is no longer the hero who's saving everyone with a smile. He's the hero who's terrorizing the criminals of the night. He is basically Batman at this point. You know, he wanted to be Superman, but he became Batman. And I just, oh God. I mean, I know I said before, All Might's whole smile and you have nothing to fear, for I am here, wasn't actually good for society as a whole because it was basically just placating them, but it's important for the small people, for the individual people that are being saved, to see the hero appear with a smile, to see a hero who comes in and saves the day and who helps them, who protects them. I mean, if this version of Deku had saved Eri, she would have never recovered from her scars. She would still be screaming to this day, probably even be comatose out of fear and anxiety, and her quirk would probably have just destroyed her. She would have self-destructed, more or less. But, you know, the old version of him, the one who could smile, the one who could say he's going to be okay, the one who could promise that he would protect her and actually mean it with all the light and hope of humanity in his voice, that Deku was the only one who could save her. This Deku, this monster that he's become, he just wouldn't be capable of doing it. He wouldn't be capable of saving anyone with a smile. And I do want to see that moving forward. I want to see Deku try and save people and just see them, you know, scream and run away because they are so utterly, utterly terrified of how he looks right now. Oh, but yeah, so super, super creepy look for Deku. But let me think else down below. What do you think of his new look? What do you think is going to happen next? I mean, where exactly are the classmates? We haven't actually seen, I mean, Shoto texted Endeavor this chapter. We haven't actually seen any of them since, you know, all this started. I'm assuming they're busy, you know, fighting villains, evacuating the citizens, all that, but sooner or later, they need to show back up and, you know, lend Deku a helping hand. They need to convince him, Deku, you can't save anyone like this. You're just destroying yourself. You're breaking yourself. I mean, maybe eventually Deku will lose a fight, like he'll get knocked unconscious and, you know, Bakugo and Uraraka will show up and have to save the day, have to save him, and that'll show him the truth. Or maybe, you know, he'll be too late. Maybe because he's fighting all alone, he won't be able to save someone. He'll have to see someone die because of his actions and he'll realize that, you know, he can't keep doing this by himself, or, you know, it will kill him and will kill others as well. But that's my theory. I'll link all this down below. Be sure to like, subscribe to the next video. And until then, peace!